Hello and a very special welcome to this edition of Winning Workouts, a special edition as we have a look forward to the Big Two International Group 1s coming up on Sunday at Kranji, of course, the Singapore Airlines International Cup and the KrisFly International Sprint. The horses were out and about on Tuesday morning, Craig. We're going to have a look at all the track work.
Yes, we are indeed. A terrific race, I think, the KrisFly. Certainly the strongest we've had in the last few years, and a really good international contingent. Headed up, I think, by the Aussie Bell Sprinter, who's got very good form.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the leading fancies here, and of course ran third to Black Caviar and the Tommy Smith at Randwick last time, and before that was the winner of the Galaxy at Rose Hill.
Mitchell Beer, assistant trainer with Bell Sprinter. How's he settled in?
Yeah, really happy, Craig. We got in late on Sunday night and hasn't missed a note since he's been here. He's drunk well and really happy with his work this morning.
Does that surprise you how well he's travelled, considering the first time overseas and on a plane?
Yeah, most definitely. I think we're expecting him probably to travel a little bit worse, or allowing for it at least. His fluids have been great, which is the main thing. Eating well. He probably tucked up a little bit physically once getting off the plane, but he's let down in the last couple of days, so I wouldn't change anything at this point.
So far, just relatively light exercise for him?
Yeah, yesterday he just had a good solid hand walk. Carly, who's his regular track work rider, she rode him this morning, and we just had a light trot on track 5 out in the middle there, and she couldn't be any happier. So as long as she's giving him the thumbs up, then I'm happy.
What would be the remainder of the week leading into Sunday, do you think?
We'll have a quiet morning again tomorrow morning. We might just probably give him a quiet canter, and then we'll assess. If we do any faster work, it probably will be Thursday morning, but in saying that, it'll only be very light.
So most of the prep was done at home before you got on the plane?
He had a very solid gallop on Saturday morning before he came, and it was his best piece of work, this preparation. So we wanted to get all the main gallops out of the way and let him know that he's come through the run well, which he has. So we're looking forward to Sunday because he's spot on.
And we've seen a few of the replays from Australia. It's a very, very nice horse.
Yeah, his form last preparation probably doesn't warrant how good a horse he is. He had a wind issue. We rectified that at the end of last preparation. So I think this time in we are seeing probably overall the best of what the horse can do.
Now we're looking at Lucky 9, the Hong Kong representative, Casper Founds. He knows what it's like to win one of these races. Maddie's done it in the past with Green Birdie, and Lucky 9 certainly has been a star in the last few years up there.
He's well travelled, isn't he? Trips to Tokyo in the past, and Dubai, of course. Started his career over there in Ireland. Just been down on his form his last couple of runs. He needs to pick things up, and the reports there last time that there was substantial blood found in the trachea. Now that would explain his 7th in the Sprint Cup at Sha Tin, and even his 4th behind Ambitious Dragon over 1,400 metres. He finished 5 lengths off them, so probably not in the best patch of form of his career.
No, but you can probably discount his last run, and the blood in the trachea is something that regularly happens to Hong Kong horses. Even Super Easy, when it went up there at its first start, pulled up with the same sort of ailment. It's just the conditions, I think, and the heavy atmosphere of Hong Kong. But Lucky 9 working along pretty well here during the week, and as I said before, Casper Founds certainly knows what it's like to train a sprinter to win here in Singapore. He's done it in the past, and wouldn't be surprised if Lucky 9 turns up and runs a big race. A little bit like Sacred Kingdom when it won here in, I think it was 2007. It wasn't in the best of form, 2008 it might have been. Wasn't in the very best of form, Matt, but then turned up and recaptured its best here in Singapore.
Yeah, and I think if he produces his best here, he's going to go very, very close here. Casper Founds, he loves bringing horses over for our races, and this one, whilst he'd just been down the last couple of runs, let's not forget he was a Group 1 winner no less than about 3 months ago when he won the Chairman's Sprint there at Sha Tin. So he's still got it. He just needs to put it all together, and maybe Super Easy can emulate Rocket Man, Craig, having won the Lion City Cup, going on to win the KrisFly. It was good to see him back to his best last time.
Terrific run, wasn't it, by Super Easy, and he continues to race in fine fashion. And this is Belmont Mast, and he comes here from Ireland, and he has a pretty good resume going into this as well.
Yes, he ran second in the Golden Shaheen, of course. A race we've seen a lot of horses come through in the past and run in the KrisFly, Belmont Mast, and good to have this representative from Ireland.
Edward, Belmont Mast, he sounds like he's a seasoned traveller.
Yeah, he travelled great. Couldn't be happier with him. He lost 10 kilos, which is good considering how far he had to come. He had to sort of had a bit of work just to get to England and then come all the way over. He got over yesterday morning. He's very fresh and well, eating well, drinking well. No excuses yet.
His form in Dubai was very good. He looked a little unlucky in the final run.
Yeah, Ronaldo the Wizard beat me twice out there, 3 times. Just ran a great race and hoping he'll run a similar sort of race over here.
What sort of work do you need to do with him during the week? Is he pretty well ready to go, or is there more work to be done?
Yeah, I think I have my job done. Just keep him happy now.
Okay, and the firm surface we've got at the moment. In past years, we've had a little bit of cut in the turf track, but it's pretty firm at the moment. Is that going to suit your guy at all?
I shouldn't think it'll be a problem. The only thing is he as good a horse on turf as he is in Tapeta? I don't know that.
So you can't answer that for us yet?
Tell you on Monday.
It's an interesting question. We'll find out on Sunday evening, I guess, as we move on to Duck Scholar here, Matt. And this guy, he's racing in pretty good form. He was well beaten in the Elk was, so he's got a bit of ground to make up, but was a Maidan winner prior to that.
Yes, he's got a bit of ground to make up, hasn't he, Craig, as you say, but Mr. Big ran 5th in the same race, so he wasn't too far behind him. He's a terrific looking horse. He's a horse who has campaigned around the world, Dubai, France and Germany as well, and the UK. Duck Scholar, 4-time winner, plenty of seconds, a fairly consistent galloper, and I suppose he's probably not going to be the highest one in the market, but in with a chance. And Rabzan Kadrov brings another horse to Singapore and attempting to take our riches.
Yes, he doesn't mind spending a bit of money to buy a decent horse, so he's got a couple here in Singapore this year. And of course, Gitano Hernando has won here in the past. So Duck Scholar, Doug Watson with a couple of runners too. There is first venture here to Singapore, and I'm not so sure about Duck Scholar, but we're going to find out there on Sunday. But nice piece of work, and one of the few horses. I think we had 4 in total that did some serious work on the turf on Tuesday morning.
He's funny when you look at his record. He's campaigned over 10 furlongs in the past, up over 2,000 metres. He finished 2nd at Newmarket. He's placed over a mile at Maidan in Group 2 level, and then last time he was running over 1,000 metres at Group 1. So he's been all over the place geographically, but also distance-wise.
Yeah, for sure. And only a 5-year-old, so still a little bit of racing left in him, and he seems to be in pretty good order there in that track work on Tuesday morning using the turf track. So that's Duck Scholar, Doug Watson, the trainer. This is Caviar, and he was very good running second to Mentor earlier on in the Dubai season. Just dropped off a little bit in the Golden Shaheen, but should appreciate getting onto the turf, I think.
Well, last time he was on the turf, he won over 1,200 metres, and that was at Maidan, and that set him up for his run in the Golden Shaheen, where he finished 6th. So he takes on others coming through the same race, of course, with Belmont Mars running 2nd. So he's got a bit to find there, but maybe the shift back to the turf is suitable. Very lightly raced, isn't he, for a 6-year-old? He's only had the 10 runs and showed good form in South Africa prior to embarking on a career elsewhere, and his last 5 runs now have been in Dubai, with 3 of those being on the Tapeta and 2 on the turf. So we'll get to the turf here.
Trevor Caviar, how's it travelled over?
No, very happy. Travelled well, didn't lose any weight. Very happy with him.
What are you expecting to do this week? Is there much work to be done?
No, well, we did our final piece of work this morning on the turf, over 6 furlongs. He worked at his top over the last 2. Very happy with his work.
Okay, settling into Singapore and the heat, has it been any concern at all?
No, it's actually been quite mild compared to past years, but straight out of Dubai now, which is pretty warm. It's about the same climate at the moment.
Okay, and what are you expecting on the weekend? Obviously, a serious racehorse. How do you go into the race?
Yeah, just taken on his run in Dubai. He was a bit unlucky on the turn, got beat 2 lengths, lost 2 lengths on the turn. So I think he's in with a live chance. It's obviously not one of the favourites, but I do think he's a live chance.
So you say you finished his main work this morning. So for the rest of the week, just keep him healthy and happy?
Yeah, we'll just I'll monitor his weight now after his gallop, see how he comes out of the gallop, and might just give him a short burst on Friday. That's it.
Now we move on to one of the locals, Mr. Big, and I thought his first up run back from Dubai was very good behind Super Easy Matt, and I think there's a bit of improvement to come from this guy.
Okay, well that's good because he'll need to improve. He's going to beat Super Easy, who beat him last time. I thought both had pretty good runs in transit. He had to go pretty hard and fast early on, Mr. Big, but he's a terrific horse and second in the race last year. He'll be up there firing. He'll be hard to get past, but he'll just need to probably improve, as you say he will.
Okay.
If he's going to play a part.
And this one is Speedy Cat. So he was the last of the locals. We got the camera on. Nice enough horse, but whether he's quite up to this, I'd be doubting it.
Yeah, there's a few down the bottom. Emerald Hill, Goalkeeper, and this horse who I think are all suitable on the poly track, or more suitable. Still nice horse, Speedy Cat, and a good pace will suit him in the Cruise Fly.
Back with the runners in the SIA Cup very soon.